What's going on, you beautiful people? Just a little Sunday markup video here for you. If you would like these Sunday markup videos every Sunday, then make sure you hit that like button and drop us a comment down below. So if you go over to our TradingView account, which we gave out every Sunday, a relatively in-depth analysis for the pairs that we're looking at. Now we're mainly focusing just on euro and gold. You can see that these pairs have played out pretty much perfectly what we expected to see happen, which is run higher, pull back, hit this line. Now we're going to look for price to possibly reverse. Euro as well, we're looking for it to pull back into here to then run back into these highs. If we play this, the same thing is happening right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue on this story and explain to you what we're expecting to see for the coming week. So we're going to start off with euro here. Now we're not going to go super in depth because the more in depth and continual analysis is saved for our Discord members. So if you aren't in the Discord, click that link down below. But we are going to give you a relatively descriptive overview of what we want to see for these pairs. So to start things off with euro, I am just going to chop back some of the stuff in here because we don't need to see this stuff. We will be dropping down to a lower time frame as well to give you guys a little bit more of an in-depth understanding. So you can see the markup that we had from last week. We are in an overall higher time frame bearish range from the high all the way down to the low. This is the 4-hour chart, by the way. So this is a bearish range. Now we're looking for this to pull back into the upper end of this bearish range to then pull back. But of course, this move is classed as a pullback move. So it is less likely to continue in that direction as it is a pullback. But structurally, we have a couple of things telling us that it may well continue. And that is the major high and major low that we have in place right now, which means we are in a bullish range, as you can see by the breaker structure highlighted here. We have a bullish internal range currently, which tells us again there may be a chance for price to pull back slightly within this range and then follow on with the higher time frame structure that is in place. But what we are mainly looking at for this week is for price to come down into one of 2 points. Now we have this low to this high, which is our internal range that we currently have. And we're looking at this low area right here. Let me just highlight this. We're looking at this low area right here. Set that up as a bullish area, which gives us around this point. So we have our last down move for the upshift. We're looking at price running back into here to continue bullish. We can see that we created our range high on Friday and we failed to break it. Price continued to break down from that point. We actually took some lovely shorts on Friday, but I'm expecting now price to run into this area. Now, this area is a pretty key point for us. Now, the reason for this is because we have some high impact news coming up this week, and I believe it may coincide with this area. Now, depending on how this 4-hour low holds out is going to depend on how this week is going to play out. So the scenarios we have are the following. We run down bearish into here and we run bullish, taking out this previous liquidity created, taking out this high, getting us up to the daily order block up here. Or price does not do this and it actually fails through, possibly with news. And then from this point, we see price run higher back into this upper area. Of course, there's going to be separate scenarios to follow and watch depending on what actually happens. But they're the 2 points we're looking at, either a run from here into the high or a run from here into the high again. We are not truly bearish until we break out of our 4-hour structure, so we'd have to take out this low, and then we are not truly bearish until we have a full change in direction across every time frame. So pretty simple this week. We're looking for an early pullback. This low is going to be our defining factor whether we shift bearish or not, and then from here we'll obviously track price. But like I say, if you want a more in-depth explanation and live walkthroughs, then the Discord's the place to be. Follow the link down below. So let's move over to gold here. Gold is a pretty simple one for me. We gave out the idea last week that we were moving bearish within the higher time frame range here and this higher time frame low. So we created a fair amount of liquidity across these highs We then broke the liquidity that we marked, pulled back into our buy side window that we again called out to all of our members, and we pushed bullish beautifully at the end of the week. Now, before we got to Friday, there was a bit of consolidation. There wasn't a huge amount to follow on, but there was some nice moves, and ultimately it came out in the correct direction. Now, this is our last up move before price broke down, and we are at the 50 right now. You can see price is actually rejected pretty solid. So the two scenarios we're looking at for this week are the following: a push down into this lower area for price to go long. Again, I'll mark these out here in a second. So from that low to this high, that's our bullish range. The other scenario is for price to pull back just to the lower points that caused this takeout, so it would be around here, and then go bullish. Or if we don't have either of these and price just goes bullish from here, I will still be looking for a potential breakdown to bring us back into this lower area. Now, there's a reason for that. The reasons are we want to see lower prices to be able to buy, and of course we want to see higher prices to be able to sell. Now, overall we are bullish on this pair, and we know this. So we want to keep in mind pulling back to go long would be the ideal scenario. But of course, if we come down, break out of this 4 hour, we will then be looking for price to continue that bearish movement, as we called the possibility for last Sunday. So if you do want to see some literature to go with these markups and the markups without me scribbling all over the screen, then make sure you follow the TradingView. Again, link for that is down in the description. But I hope you've enjoyed that short breakdown. If you do want these videos more regularly, make sure you hit the like button and leave us a comment down below. I'll catch you all in the next one.